In today's video, we'll continue our conversation with Kingsley on building his house in Ghana. If you missed last week's video, definitely check it out because we covered all the costs he incurred in detail and he shared so much valuable information. Today, we'll walk through his 5,000 Ghana cedi tiny house, cover the costs we missed last week, as well as discuss some of the challenges when building in Ghana and buying versus building here. If you're starting out on your building journey, definitely check out this worksheet with a detailed item breakdown for costs in each construction stage, with a link in the description below. There are also principles available that you can use to track your expenses and your budget. So hi Kingsley.
Hiya.
Okay, so you have this wooden shed here that looks like a little studio. So if you can kindly talk us through your build process and all of that.
Yeah, so basically it's made of wood really.
Okay.
Made of plywood.
Okay.
It's plywood and it's painted over a couple of times with a water-based paint and emulsion as well.
Okay.
On it. What we have the base is made of proper blockwork.
Okay.
Okay. What we wanted really is just a temporary structure. We wanted a temporary security hut at the time.
Okay.
Because we weren't ready to do the actual full blockwork full scheme. So just a temporary blockwork and then a wooden structure to go with it with the roofing sheets above. But it's quite fully fitted out. It's got its own shower in there.
Yeah.
There's a facility for a toilet. We've used the unused tiles from the main house in there as well, and yeah, it's lighting, power.
Everything is ready to go.
Because as you can see, we've got lights on the external fence wall, and we've got waterproof sockets. So we just extended the circuits into here to pick this one up.
What's the drainage in here like? Where does the drainage go?
The drainage from the toilets and the showers all go into the septic tank.
Your septic tank. Okay, so it's under.
We've all linked it up. Yeah.
Right.
And as well as it all being linked up, we've also got some spare connections here. These two here.
Right.
So whatever future development we want to do on that side, we'll just extend to pick up the toilets, the kitchen, and everything. Still back to the septic tank. Without having to dig up the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk us through your roofing.
The roofing, yeah, it's just
same
timber frame, standard, typical as you have in a typical type of building roofing sheets. It's just a small building, really.
Right.
So if we come inside, oops, mind your step.
No worries. Thank you.
Cool. Inside here, in fact, it's a fairly sizable security office. Could be somebody's bedroom, really. And obviously you've got the lights and a couple of sockets, and obviously it's lockable doors. So this is the unused tiles we use, which is pretty okay for us. Painted inside with white emulsion paint, and then we've got the shower and toilet area here. There's a connection there as you asked for the basin in the middle. There, and then the shower is works. It's all workable. Obviously, he's taking off the head, but there was a shower head there. So he's got a shower there, and we've got the connection for the toilet right here. Okay. So have a look. The connection for the toilet right there. So it's all
workable. Wood. But you use the container finish for the for the bathroom
for the shower because of the water. Yeah, we didn't want to have obviously water constantly on wood, so we just put the container.
So did you treat this wood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Treat it for possible termites or make it last as long as possible. Obviously, the painting on the exterior makes it longer lasting as well.
How long can this last for?
Oh, if you take care of it, it can last for quite a few years. Okay. Just repaint it every 3 or so years. And it should be fine. I mean, you see examples on the road of wood unpainted. It's still going for many years. Obviously, it's kind of like falling apart, and then with all the rain and the elements. So as long as you keep painting it every sort of 3 or 4 years, you keep it going, and it can last for a long time. In terms of cost, it's fairly affordable. Now, you have to exclude the blockwork and the tiles because these were leftovers from the main build. The carpentry cost, or the labor for the carpentry, which obviously putting together the structure here, the roofing structure, was 1,200 Ghana cedis. Okay, which is pretty good. The plumbing materials, as in the extension of the pipes for the shower, basin, toilet, and everything else under the ground, was another 1,024 Ghana cedis. Okay. Then the other materials, which other materials I would say more the sort of the bits and pieces, if you like, that go with it, as in the iron sheets, the nails, 3 or 4 inch nails, the dustband, the fascia, all of that planing the wood, etc. All those material costs came to a total of 2,400 Ghana cedis, okay, including these extra sockets in here as well. And then the painting itself was about 350 Ghana cedis.
Right.
Okay, so that totaled 4,950 Ghana cedis
for the entire structure.
For the entire structure. Wow. Okay, but that excludes the cost of the block and excludes the tiles because they were left over from the main build.
So we could put that maybe an additional 1,000, 1,200.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Put that, and that's so you're looking at 6,000, say 6,500 something. Okay. If you didn't have those leftovers, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's very decent. Somebody could live here. I mean, it could be a home.
It could be a home.
If you changed, put some more windows.
Yes,
and fit it out as a home.
Exactly. Just cut a few windows out here, partition off maybe.
Yep, a little section for a kitchen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
interesting.
Yeah, that could be it really. That could be it.
Okay.
So nice little self-contained
home.
I mean, in future, since it was made on a temporary basis, in future we may pull down the walls and turn it into something more permanent and go against the fence wall, if you like, and have let's say a security window opening there. We may combine it with a bigger development on the unoccupied plots. Yes, that's probably what we may do. But for now, this is it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. It's simple.
So the cost of the gate. This is a gate that is 7 foot 6 inches high by about 16 foot wide. Okay, so it includes the pedestrian gate. It's a combined. That's why it's that wide. Right. Some people offset the pedestrian gate, but ours is all inclusive together. So the cost of the fabrication of the gate, the delivery and installation altogether was 5,630 Ghana cedis. Okay? Right. Awesome. That excludes the automation, just the gate.
Okay. Well, how about the automation?
Oh, one thing, the lock in the pedestrian was an extra 150 cedis. The actual lock. Okay. Yeah. The automation is not split out because that's all part of the. Right. I haven't got that split out on top of my head. Right. Yeah.
Kingsley, let's talk through some of the challenges. You've talked us through a couple, but let's talk through the rest of your challenges and then some of the lessons that you learned. What you do differently the next time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are challenges always in construction generally. No matter where you build in the world, there's always challenges. What are some of the challenges? I'm trying to take my mind back to the very beginning. I think when we initially started to build, with all the materials we had on site, we didn't actually have a storage space. So we were relying on the goodness of neighbors to store our iron rods and to store some other materials, which worked out okay in the end, but there was a bit of headache surrounding that. If I was to do that again, I'd rather build a temporary shed on site and store all the materials there, lock it. We didn't have a caretaker at the time, so I would have employed the caretaker very early on and had just a shed somewhere for them to sleep, and that would have been less headache.
Can we talk about the cost of a caretaker? We haven't mentioned that throughout.
That varies. That varies. It varies. And I know people who pay, 400 cedis a month. I know people who pay double that. It varies. It depends. It depends. Yeah, you really got to. And also the circumstances of the individual and the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So other challenges. I think one main challenge is, I would say, is if you are in the country that you're building, then it's best to be on site as much as you can. Don't leave anything to common sense. And I say that because there have been times where you think something is quite straightforward and simple, but especially when two parties have to communicate. When the guy doing the POP has to communicate with the electrician, things can go wrong. So it's good if you are on site. Even though it may sound simple, just try to be on site as much as possible. Even if you're living abroad, that's fine. You can come and spend a couple of months and then go, but try to frequently visit, and you can do things in chunks. For example, you can do, I'm going to do the foundation over a couple of months. I'm going to come into the beginning to set the stall, set the expectation, if you like. And then you can be communicating with whoever your project manager is before you finally come over, Another challenge, I would say, is being able to manage all the various trades, all the various artisans is another significant challenge. And that also, I guess it depends on whether you go for a company or an individual. I went for an individual. Now, that particular individual is very good at what they do, but they're not necessarily so great at managing all the artisans, you know. But if I was to do something differently, maybe I'd go for somebody who is good at the job but also very good at managing all the artisans, so that they can take all the headache. So, you know, I pay them and then they pay everybody else. And I don't have to deal with all the individuals. Yes, exactly. But I guess I'm a bit different because I'm in the trade, so it wasn't too daunting for me. And I guess I was excited about seeing my design on paper coming to life. So I guess getting
So you didn't use an architect anywhere?
No.
For the plan you did?
Yes. The architect, this is all architect and structural engineer. Or designed it all out, and then I just paid for it and got it built. Yeah. So that all the drawings have been done. You know, people, there are various architects around in Ghana. You always have to get it stamped by a Ghanaian architect anyway, on the way to getting the planning and building permits and all that stuff.
Can you give us a rough figure for that? For permit costs, design, the plan, and all that.
The permit, that's a long story. But in terms of getting the architectural and structural drawings, that cost me, that wasn't too bad actually. That cost me about $500. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. In terms of actually getting it stamped by the Ghana architect, because they review the plans, check the escape routes, that was 2,200 Ghana cedis. Just to get it stamped, which is not too bad. The building permitting process, that's that is a process in itself. It's a process in itself, and you know, people have put things in their pockets along the way. Yeah, unfortunately. But I think all in all, that costs me about, factoring all costs, about 9,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Although the receipt doesn't say 9,000 Ghana cedis. But I'll leave that to your imagination. You know, but that's the permitting. Then obviously, you know, I've got a video on our channel which gives you the 20 steps to buying land in Ghana, from day one to day final, and avoiding the litigation, doing the right search at the Lands Commission to make sure the person who's selling it to you is the rightful owner and all of that stuff. So we had to go through all of that, check the indenture, and one thing as well. Initially the person who was selling us the land, they wanted to do a sublease. Because you know you can do a sublease to sublease the rest of his lease. And obviously we had to we didn't want that at all. We wanted him to give up his full rights to us. And initially when we rejected that, you know, he wasn't happy, and the sale actually fell through until what happened was that the agent knew his wife. So women have power. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, they called us back to say it's back on. So you can have it with all the full rights. So that's when we managed to seal the deal. But yeah, so anybody buying land, I suggest you look at the terms and conditions, and try not to get a sublease, unless you're happy with that. Yeah. So yeah. What other challenges? The main challenge is communication. You know, main challenge is communication. This is another. I've got something else here. Obviously, the culture in the land is such that, and this is what I've come to. You can let me know what your experience is, but that if it's never good to get rid of an artisan anyway, especially when they haven't finished what they've done. We were pushed to get rid of our electrician because he was just giving us a headache, way too much headache, and he was holding us for ransom. I think he had a lot of work on, so ours was like a bit on the side, so it wasn't a main priority. You know, you want to move in, you want to put a deadline on stuff, and you're just delaying. You're calling, he's not picking up, and the rest of it. So eventually I had to get rid of him. But even getting rid of him, to get a new electrician was a headache in itself from a cultural point of view. And then you can correct me as well. I had some people saying, the previous person, was he an Ewe man or something?
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because they say, if it was an Ewe man and it didn't finish, I'm not touching it.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. That's new.
I got that, but I got it from other people telling me as well.
Oh.
Yeah, which is
sad.
I know, strange. Very strange.
Yeah. Have you heard that before?
Not for artisans, but for everything.
Other things.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair.
It's not fair.
Nice.
It's not fair. It's not nice. It was a real headache.
Yeah.
You know, so we had 2 electricians who came. Now, one of them was one who came initially, and I didn't give him the job. I gave him to the one who I sacked. So he had some history of the job.
Okay.
But the other guy who I really wanted to use, he had no history. So he came across, he wanted to do the job, and I was saying, oh, when are you going to give me the quote? And it took a long time, and I eventually, gave up on him.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he didn't have any history of the job. He didn't have anybody to contact to find out, oh, why was the previous guy sacked and everything like that.
Right.
Whereas the other guy who had a history was able to find out. And he actually managed to get in contact with the electrician who I sacked and almost got his permission to continue his work.
What?
Yeah, he wanted to make sure that, because he told me he's heard of many stories, he doesn't want to do something and then they would juju him or something. I'm telling you. So he had to do his investigation to make sure he got the all clear, got the guy's blessing, or you can continue with my work before he continued.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
That was an interesting time.
Very interesting journey.
Interesting
I'm sure
journey.
you learned so much.
Learned
on
so
the
much,
journey.
and we had to get rid of him. We had no choice.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we had a replacement. What other challenges? Obviously the flat roof, the flat concrete roof, getting it waterproof.
Right.
was a challenge, but we got there in the end. You just have to do it and do it well, which means some financial injection goes into it, but it's worth it because it's like a whole other level.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. The view is amazing. The breeze is amazing. So yeah.
And if you do it right once, you don't have to have that headache.
Exactly.
Only maintenance.
Exactly. So flat roof does work. You just got to do it right and invest properly in it.
Kingsley, so listening to you, we can tell that you've had a lot of challenges.
Yes.
So if you were starting all over again, would you rather build or buy?
I would always build.
Still?
I would always build.
Despite everything?
Despite everything.
Tell me why.
Why? Because there are challenges, but in life there are challenges you've got to overcome.
Everything.
Every problem has a solution. And I guess maybe it's because I'm an engineer myself in my profession. So, we are problem solvers. That's what we do. And I want to build something that is mine, that you can bring your own creativity to life. And you're not stuck with something that's already built and that's already has a design to it. Okay. So even with the challenges, I would still build again. We've got other building ideas that we need to do on the unoccupied plot, and we're looking forward to that despite the headaches. Yeah. But also, ultimately, economically, it's also much better to build. Okay. Initially, when we were planning on doing this, initially I was thinking about just buy, and we went to Apollonia. We saw a nice 4-bedroom house on a quarter plot. No, half plot, sorry. Half plot. So 50 by 70, right? Half plot. 4-bedroom house, and that was going for about $190,000 US. Okay. And for that same price, approximately that same price, I'm getting this, which is 2 plots, more than two plots. Yeah, so that's four times the size. Yeah, a 4-bedroom house that is like 3 times the size of what's at Apollonia. A spare plot where I can even do more construction. You can do an apartment complex and make your own money off of that. Exactly. So it just made sense. Much more value for your money. Exactly. Because even much more value for the money, and even if you're doing a mortgage or whatever, you put the money down, you'll still be paying it over a while. So why not put that deposit down into your own build and then build it over time? Right. You see what I mean? And then you saving you money on that interest payment. Exactly. Right. And at the end of it, you're debt free from that sense because you don't have a mortgage on your head. Right. So that's really. So how long has it taken you to get to this stage? 18 months? The first spade in the ground was 14th of October 2020. So that is 18 months. Yes, November, December, January, February, March. 17 months. 17 months. Yes, 17 months from the land clearing to now. Nice. Yes. That's good progress. Yeah? How does that compare from where you... I think most people build when... Did you save towards this? So did you already put money aside? So you saved before you began? Yes. Which is the best way to do it. Exactly, yeah. But most people build as they get money. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, but at some point, obviously... You have a chunk of money that you use, but at some point you get to a point where you have to build as you make. Unless you're mega rich. You've got lots of money. Exactly. But like I say, you don't have to. When you do because initially you do your bill of quantities. Right. So initially you have an idea of how much it's going to cost you, but you don't have to be too afraid of that total amount, because you never start. You just let's say by faith, if you like, just go for it with what you have, and then as your income, you still got an income stream coming in, then you just build on that. If I was to look at the initial amount, I probably wouldn't have done it. But yes, you just have to start. If you don't start, the cost of materials are only going upwards anyway.
Exactly. The longer you wait, the more expensive everything gets. Okay, so for people looking to build, what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, for people looking to build, I would say go for it. Definitely go for it. Make your dreams. If you're in the diaspora, you know, we say on Asher and Gad, make Africa home again, one family at a time. So do that. Definitely go for it. Come to visit the country. You know, wherever you want to build on the African continent, really. So come and visit the country. You know, do a lot of investigations. Try and find a trustworthy person, or even if you have contacts. If you don't have contacts, then a trustworthy company, and that is probably better if you don't know anybody in the country. I would have thought, and then go approach it in that manner. But obviously, with every stage, you know, you do a part payment. Make sure you agree a payment plan. Don't pay everything up front. You know, you pay 10-20%. Make sure you see what you get the benefit of that before you carry on with the rest. Absolutely. And the more you can pop over, the better it is for you. But to build is definitely, I would say, the way to go.
That's interesting.
Okay. Mortgage is good, but at the end of the day, mortgage is still a debt.
It's very expensive over here as well. Very expensive.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would just say that just be inspired to build your own property, and don't be afraid to be as creative as you can be, within limits, obviously. Within limits, because some again, depending on, I haven't gone to a company, so I can't really say much about the company, but with the individual, sometimes if you go too creative, then that can become an issue as well.
For them to execute your big dreams.
Your big dreams, yes, exactly. So in some regard, keeping it simple is also helpful, depending on who you go with. Exactly. But all in all, it's been a fantastic journey, and I encourage everyone to build. You know, there's lots of land in Ghana, all over the place, in Accra, not just in Accra. You know, obviously we're not in Accra, let's say, but there's Kumasi, there's all over the place. There's abundance of land, but obviously make sure it's litigation free, drama free, and then there's great opportunity in Africa. You know, there's great opportunity to live here, to be entrepreneurial. You know, to have your own business is a dream. Fantastic. To be free, you know, is a dream, really. You know, so Africa. I think Africa is the way forward, personally, to do that.
So thank you so much, Kingsley. Thank you for walking us through your lovely home, and maybe we'll come check it out when it's all ready to go.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much for all the information.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Cheers.
I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you got value out of it, definitely leave a like, share with your friends and family that may find it interesting. Don't forget to check out Kingsley's channel, Asher and Gad, where you can find some more information on his building journey. Hopefully, I see you in my next video. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and an amazing life. Bye.